The Dance of Life, a love story. The room was filled with a mix of anticipation and the faint scent of sweat, a clear indication that the evening's performance was about to begin. The air had the hum of whispered conversations and the clinking of glasses as the patrons of the nightclub waited for the star of the show to appear. Lily, dressed in nothing but a scrap of shimmering fabric that clung to her curves like a second skin, took a deep, calming breath. She knew that the moment she stepped out onto the stage, she would be in control of every heartbeat and every gasp. Her eyes searched the shadows, finding the one spot that mattered most. Iris sat there, her emerald eyes shining with excitement and maybe just a hint of pride. Lily felt a warm rush of love for the woman who had been her rock through every challenge they had faced together. She was the reason she danced, the reason she pushed herself to be the best. The first notes of the song began to play, and Lily stepped into the spotlight. The audience fell silent as she started her routine, moving with the grace of a gazelle and the precision of a Swiss watch. Every motion was calculated to leave them breathless, to show them a glimpse of the passion that burned inside her soul. Her hands glided over her body, tracing lines that were both sensual and powerful. As she began to spin around the pole, her legs climbed high, wrapping around the cold steel with a surprising warmth. Her body bent and twisted in impossible shapes, a silent conversation with gravity that she always won. The pole was not just a prop, it was an extension of her will, a dance partner that knew her every move before she did. And through it all, she kept her focus, her breaths deep and steady, despite the tumultuous thoughts racing through her mind. Iris's words had thrown her off balance, but she couldn't let it show. Not now, not when she had worked so hard for this moment. But the promise of a baby, their baby, was like a sunrise in the middle of a storm, a beacon of light that she couldn't ignore. As the music reached its crescendo, she performed her piece de resistance, a move so daring that it often left the crowd holding their collective breath. She let go of the pole with one hand and flipped upside down, her hair cascading around her like a fiery halo. Her heart raced, but she was in her element, her body moving almost of its own accord. The beat dropped, and she felt the coolness of the pole against her bare skin once more as she caught herself, her breath ragged and her eyes alight with the thrill of the performance. The crowd erupted in applause, and she took a moment to bask in their adoration before her gaze found Iris again, her heart swelling with the knowledge of the secret they now shared. With one final twirl, she slid down the pole and struck a pose, the music ending just as she landed gracefully on the stage. The lights dimmed, and she knew it was time to take her bow. But before she could, she had one more message to send. In the quiet, she whispered, "Poppy, it is." The audience roared with approval, thinking it was a clever finale to her routine. But Iris knew better. She knew it was the name of their future, the promise of a love that would grow and bloom like the flower itself. The lights dimmed, and Lily took her bow, her heart racing with excitement and love. She couldn't wait to get off the stage and hold Iris in her arms, to feel the warmth of her touch and the sweetness of her breath as she whispered their future into her ear. The music played on, a victory anthem echoing through the club, and she knew that tonight, she had not only won the hearts of the audience, but had also claimed the prize she had been dreaming of for so long. The crowd was a sea of hands reaching out to her, their applause washing over her like a warm wave. She danced closer to the edge of the stage, allowing her fingertips to graze the outstretched hands, feeling the connection, the energy of their admiration. But she knew it was Iris's hand she truly craved, the hand that had held her through every step of their journey together. As she stepped back into the shadows, the lights grew brighter, and the crowd's cheers grew louder. She felt a hand slip into hers. Iris had made her way through the throng, her eyes shining with unshed tears. They didn't need words. Their silent promise was written in every beat of their hearts. They stepped off the stage hand in hand, into a world of backstage chaos. The applause faded into the background, the cheers a distant memory as they found a quiet corner to share their joy. Lily's breath was still ragged, her heart still racing, but she felt a peace that she had never known before. Iris's hand felt like a lifeline, anchoring her to the earth, and she knew that nothing could ever come between them now. Not the long hours of practice, not the judgmental stares, not the fear of failure. They had conquered it all, and now they had something new to fight for, something more beautiful and fragile than any routine she had ever performed. They kissed, a kiss that was both a celebration and a promise, a declaration of love and a pledge of protection. The future was uncertain, but they knew that together, they could face anything. And as they held each other close, the sound of their hearts beating in sync, they felt the first flutter of excitement for the little life that would soon be joining them, a life filled with the music of their love. The dressing room was a whirlwind of congratulations and questions, but Lily's mind was elsewhere. She couldn't shake the image of Iris's smile from her thoughts. It was a smile that had seen her through every performance, every victory, and every setback. And now it was the smile of a mother-to-be. As they sat on the plush velvet couch, surrounded by the trappings of her victory, Lily felt something shift within her. The competition had been a battle, but now she had a new challenge to face, a new role to embrace. She was going to be a mother, and she knew that she would be fierce and loving, just like the woman she held in her arms. They talked in hushed tones, sharing their hopes and fears, their dreams and their worries. Would they be good parents? Could they handle the changes that were coming? And amidst it all, they laughed, their joy bubbling over like champagne from an overflowing glass. They decided that they would keep the news to themselves for a little while longer, savoring the secret like a sweet treat. But as they left the club hand in hand, the world outside seemed brighter, more alive. They had each other, and now they had Poppy. The night was cool, a gentle breeze whispering through the trees that lined the sidewalks. They walked in silence, lost in their thoughts, their hearts full of love and anticipation. When they reached their apartment, Lily paused, her hand on the doorknob. "I think," she said, looking into Iris's eyes, "that we need to talk about what this means." Iris nodded, understanding in her gaze. They stepped inside, the warmth of the room enveloping them like a blanket. The dance was over, but the real performance was just beginning. The performance of life, of love, of motherhood. And as they sat on the couch, the quiet music of their hearts playing in the background, they knew that no matter what the future held, they would face it together. Stronger than ever, united by the miracle growing within Iris. Their love had always been a dance, a beautiful, complex, sometimes painful ballet of passion and commitment. And now it was evolving into something more, a dance of life itself. A dance that would continue with every beat of their hearts and every breath of their newborn child. As they sat on their plush couch, the warmth of their bodies mingling, they discussed names, nursery colors, and the overwhelming excitement of bringing a child into the world. They spoke of the future, of the laughter they would share, the tears they would wipe away, and the boundless love that would grow between them and their little Poppy. Lily felt a new kind of strength in her muscles, not the physical power she used to climb and contort around the pole, but the kind that comes from knowing that you are the protector of something so delicate, so precious. She knew that her role was changing, that her focus would shift from the stage to the crib, but she was ready. Iris, her eyes sparkling with joy, leaned in closer, her hand resting gently on her still flat stomach. "Poppy," she whispered, feeling the first flutter of life within her. Lily's hand joined hers, and together, they marveled at the promise of what was to come. They had overcome so much together, and now they were about to embark on the most incredible journey of all. The days that followed were a blur of doctor's appointments, baby books, and whispered secrets shared in the quiet moments of the night. Lily's training took on a new intensity, not just for the next competition, but for the marathon of parenthood ahead. As they lay in bed, the soft glow of the streetlights casting shadows on their walls, Iris spoke of her dreams for their child. Dreams of a world filled with love, acceptance, and the freedom to explore. Dreams that made Lily's heart swell with hope and determination. The pregnancy was not without its challenges, of course. Morning sickness and mood swings were just the opening act to a performance that would test their bond like never before. But through every wobble and stumble, they held on to each other. Their love the pole that kept them upright. And when the day finally came, and they held their little girl in their arms, all the fears and worries melted away. In that moment, as they looked into Poppy's wide, curious eyes, they knew that their dance had led them exactly where they were meant to be. A family, 3 hearts beating as one, in the rhythm of love. Their lives had been a whirlwind of passion and performance, but now, with Poppy in their arms, they had found the most beautiful harmony of all. They were ready to write the next chapter of their love story. A story that would be filled with giggles, diaper changes, and the sweet music of a baby's coos. Together, they would face the highs and lows, the twists and turns, with the grace and poise of seasoned performers. For Lily and Iris, the stage was now their home, and the spotlight shone brighter than ever before. The applause of the audience was replaced by the sweet sound of their daughter's laughter, and they knew that this was the most important show they would ever star in. Their love had been a dance, a fiery, passionate performance that had captured the hearts of many. But now it was a lullaby, a gentle sway that would soothe their child to sleep and guide her into a world filled with the magic of their love. And as they closed the door to the nursery, hand in hand, they knew that their greatest performance was just beginning.